Welcome. This is our health channel. I'm Dr. Justin Lin. We're shooting here in my clinic at Rehab and Physical Therapy in Tustin, California. Our health channel is created for us by one of us. Not too long ago was I where you're at, wondering all these different health questions, how to sift through about wellness, fitness, and injuries. All the information out there, how do you really understand what the true source is, and does it even make sense? So sit back, relax, and learn. Because after all, this is our health. Welcome to our health channel. I'm Dr. Justin Lin of Rehab and Revive Physical Therapy. I'm your host today. Today we're going to talk about the healing journey. And I always want my patients to create this healing journey or to go through this healing journey by starting and creating a healing environment. Now, how do you start with and how do you get a healing environment? How does this happen? Well, I think a lot of it goes down to you taking out the stressors that are really getting to you, whether it's the activities that keep irritating you, whether it's the people that are negative and they're negatively affecting you. Now I understand there's some mean bosses. I've had some really horrible bosses myself and been stressed out as well. And that does play a big effect on your health and your ability to heal and even creating more and more injuries because like, oh, I don't want to go to work. That's a horrible place. You know, it's such a harsh environment and it's very toxic. And those things are very true. You don't want to go to a toxic environment. And you know, those are the things you're like, but I got a family, I have 2 kids, and I've got a mortgage, I've got bills to pay, I've got student loans, and the realm, everything just keeps compiling on and on. Well, I like CrossFit, and I like to exercise all the time because I'm going to gain weight, I'm going to be depressed, I'm going to be, you know, to me, when I hear all that from patients, not that it's wrong, it's just, it sounds like there's a big resistance to it. And I often do ask patients, well, what's the resistance? I sense some resistance. Do you want to get better? And most of them are like, well, sure, Dr. Lin, I'd love to get better. You know, it comes down to the very root of you. If you need to keep this going and you want to heal, and you're only doing half and half, it's what I would call half-ass. And I don't want half-ass patients. I don't want half-ass people in my life. You know, I often disowned friends or you know, been more estranged to friends that, you know, always tell me, well, Justin, I'm going to make this change. I'm going to make this change and I'm going to do something about it. And then they don't, you know, and they just tell you, I'm going to quit smoking. I'm going to, you know, look for a better lifestyle. I always feel if you're strong enough, you're going to do it. And something good's going to happen out of it. So the healing environment is taking out those stressors. Now, a while back, there was something published by Dr. Sophie Otis, called the loss cycle. And the very first stage is shock. You know, there's a lot of shock to something new. There's a lot of shock to something new, like if you're coming here for physical therapy and you know, you have to adjust, and it's really realizing these things. And then the next stage is distress. It's like disorganization and all this thing that's going on. You know, it's just really hectic. It's more stressful to make changes. Then the next stage is disorganization, like I said, and that's just, you know, you're trying to find ways to compartmentalize, and then when all that upheaval and all that tornado has gone through, then you start looking deep and you start going deep and starting to understand acceptance, hope, being able to see the end of the tunnel. Now, some people go through it faster than others. Some people get stopped in one or all of these stages and don't allow themselves to go through. I always believe if you don't get yourself through the whole cycle, I think it always makes sense. You want to go through all the stages, you know, the denial, the disbelief, the shock. But if you don't, and you shunt yourself, or you shut yourself down before these happen, or you run away because you want to try to avoid pain, then we really have the blockage here. Whether it's coming to physical therapy, whether it's the mental or spiritual component, but we're really trying to get at it. And so you got to go through. If you stop yourself too early and you don't go through all these stages, you don't really hit that true acceptance, and the other parts linger and they stick around a little longer, kind of like nerve pain, kind of like, you know, that joint pain that lingers. But you still want to run, you still want to, you know, go do CrossFit, or you still want to be in an abusive relationship, whether it's work or personal. So, you know, those are the questions you have to dig deep. There's so many things that happen, and yes, that's life, you know, and if you could target one thing and it'd be better and everything else gets better, perfect. That's the magic pill. But, you know, you're juggling. Most of us, you're not alone, are juggling multiple things in the air. You're not any special. You're not any unspecial. But, you know, we're juggling multiple components. And it's the capacity of how you're able to juggle these components in the air that gets you better. They're going to get you into this healing environment, this healing mindset, this mental fitness that I've talked about before. So this healing environment, you know, we really want to create that. Now the healing journey is going to be long. And I tell my patients that, you know, you have to go in. This is a true judge of your character. It's going to have ups, it's going to have downs. And you really need to pace yourself, because if it's feeling good, people want to ramp it up so fast. And then it's feeling bad, they stop. But a lot of times it's going to go like this. And I'll tell you that on my own healing journey over this last year, both emotionally, physical, and psychologically, and spiritually. So it's going to go like this. You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, but hopefully it's like the stock market. It's going to keep going up. But you're going to have some crashes. And when you have crashes, you have hopefully great relationships out there, whether it's your wife or your husband, friends, family you can count on. And worst comes to worst, you go to a psychologist, psychiatrist. I think there's such a big component to healing, physical healing, that needs to be addressed with the psychological and the emotional. And if you can't link those two, I don't know how you're going to get your physical all that much better. Oftentimes I've had to break down patients and really get to the root of why they're fighting me so much. They're paying good money to come see me, and why do they resist everything I have to say? Or worse yet, they give up. And when they give up, then we're at a loss here, because you really don't get to maximize the full benefit of healing or wellness or everything like that. So when you're going on this healing journey, it's a long one, and I know that. You're going to have your ups, you're going to have your downs. That's my main gist. But at the end, you're going to come out with a little bit more hope, and you're going to come out stronger, I believe, if you come here. And if you go anywhere, that's good. They're going to build you up, not break you down. You don't want to be around that. That's toxic. So I want you to think about that. You know, take a good look, take a good assessment, you know, write it down. What are the things that are good, and what are the things that are toxic? And slowly start eliminating those things. And of course there's some things you have to be responsible for, you know, like your marriage. And if that's getting toxic, try not to just run away. Try and work it out. You know, I know there's issues in relationships, but that's such a big component. And if you've got kids, that's even a bigger component. Fathers are really important for their daughters and their self-worth. And so really you need to get in on that, and you need to be there. You need to be responsible. You know, that's just the way to look at this world. We're all trying to help another person to be a better person for another person. So there it is, the healing journey. I hope you guys have a safe and wonderful journey. I am Dr. Justin Lin. This is our health channel. Remember, this is your health, this is my health, And this is Our Health. Thank you. We'll see you next time.